Hi, welcome back. Today I want to show you how I created these two large gold leaf canvases using 23 carat gold leaf. So I have got my canvas, which is 70 by 70 centimeters. It's a beautiful smooth linen canvas. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to apply the size. So this is my favorite product, which some of you will know already because I go on about it. It is the acrylic metal leaf size from Polyvine. And I'm going to use a big brush because it's a big canvas. And I'm going to apply the size, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And then I will leave it to dry. Not to go dry, but to get really tacky, to achieve this perfect state of tackiness. And probably I'm going to leave it overnight. But I could come back to it in an hour or two if I wanted to, but we'll see. But the point is, this stuff is amazing and it stays tacky for days. The only thing is, if you leave it for a couple of days, then it starts to like attract dust and stuff. But it is an incredible product. So let me show you how I apply it to the canvas. It's pretty easy. Okay, so let's do that next. So because I'm using real gold leaf, I am using these special cotton gloves and these lovely brushes that came with the gold leaf set I was bought some years ago, with this special knife. And the gold leaf that I've bought is transfer, so instead of being loose with a piece of covering tissue, it's actually pressed onto the tissue. And so this is a new technique for me. And because the real gold leaf is so fine, it's very easy to, it's just so delicate, it's on another level compared to the imitation gold leaf. So with the transfer, it's better for flat surfaces, and I will be able to achieve a nice smooth result without losing too much of the gold, because it's very expensive. I bought the gold leaf in booklets of 25 sheets, and the gold leaf is 8 by 8 centimeters each square. So what you need to do is I started off, I drew myself a little grid to get started because I didn't want them to be wonky. Because a part of the charm of gold leaf is seeing the sort of tiled effect that you can get once you've laid down all the squares. And as you lay down the squares, you need to slightly overlap so that you don't end up with white spaces in between. So in order to release the gold leaf from the transfer sheet, you do need to be quite vigorous with pressing it down. So you can see I'm using this gold leaf tool, which is a knife for actually picking up sheets of loose gold leaf. I actually wore holes in my gloves because I use my fingers so much with these gloves. The whole process was quite complex. I have never used real gold leaf on such large areas. So I was fairly nervous because I was doing 2 canvases. I'd already done one, so this, I must confess, is the second one. Made plenty of mistakes on the first one. It's very, very different to using imitation gold leaf, which I have been working with for about 4 years now. And I'd only ever used real gold leaf for tiny details. And this client that I had, I gave her the option of choosing imitation or real, and the difference in price was in the order of about £500. But she just really, really loves, she wanted real gold. The squares are smaller, so imitation gold leaf is 15 by 15 centimeters, and these are 8 by 8. And obviously the real gold leaf has a very different quality to the imitation. Something that I had to embrace and accept was the fact that I wasn't able to achieve a perfect finish. But actually I don't think that's really what gold leaf is all about. And I feel like with the imitation gold leaf I'm used to being able to achieve a more uniform result. But actually, when I showed it to my client, and I had gotten so nervous about it, showing her, and she was absolutely thrilled because it almost looks antique. And then I had to understand about burnishing, which isn't really something that you need to do so much with imitation gold leaf. You can just use burnishing with imitation to get rid of excess gold and give it a smooth finish. So I did some research, and then I saw lots of things suggesting use cotton. So actually I used a combination of the tip of my glove and some cotton, and it was so rewarding actually. The difference it can make when you burnish it. So yeah, it's been a huge learning curve. So here you can see the effect I was able to achieve once I'd burnished it. And then it was time to consider the artwork. So we had chosen these 3 hummingbirds, which were to represent her family, which is a really beautiful idea. So I printed out these pictures and I cut the birds out, and we tried them in different positions on the canvas because she had a vision of a very sort of minimal canvas that was just beautiful gold with these very small, exquisite hummingbirds. So I just thought, wow, this is literally a dream for me in terms of final outcome. Obviously drawing onto the real gold leaf is quite nerve-wracking because if you make a mistake, you're going to have to cover it all up with another amount of real gold. So I actually decided to draw around the template, and then I painted the base in gesso. So I've just got a nice white surface to paint on with my acrylics. I'm painting the birds in acrylics. I have painted birds in oils before on gold leaf, which is gorgeous as well. But I find that with layers and layers and layers of acrylics, I can get the similar level of depth and richness. And I just love acrylics, quite frankly. I'm a much more experienced acrylic painter than oils, and I felt more comfortable doing it in acrylics. So I just lay down all my base colours first, just get them all blocked out, and then I layer up with about a zillion layers, to be honest, using smaller and smaller brushes. I've added in some iridescent medium for the hummingbirds in places, little flecks of gold paint. I absolutely love painting birds because they're just so exquisite, and just trying to achieve the tiny feathers, the character with the eyes. Definitely one of my favourite subjects to paint. Just in case you're interested in learning more about acrylic painting, I am shortly going to be launching my first online acrylic painting course, which is literally going to take you from zero to hero. So follow me on my channel and stay in touch, and I will let you know when it's launched. So the canvases are finished, and these are the walls on which they are going, and absolutely so happy with the transformation once they're up. Don't they look perfect there? And the beauty of a gold leaf artwork is that it just bounces so much light around the room, and it will glow differently in daylight hours, evening. Yeah, really happy with how these look. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and it'd be amazing if you could subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next one. Bye bye.